Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to another scene for New Sarum. Tonight's scene is set at the Pleasure Palace, where Isabel is going to meet with Bianca for their scheduled session, as Isabel desperately needs the physical pain that only Bianca really knows how to give her. And she uh, stops at the door and tells them that she's there to see Bianca.
They tell you, yes, she's waiting for you in room number 2, Miss Murphy.
She smiles and nods and heads back there.
As you head back there, you see somebody standing outside the door that's not Bianca.
Is it someone she recognizes?
It is, it's a young blonde woman.
Ah, Miranda.
Hello, Isabel.
She gives Miranda a big smile and she gives her a hug as well.
And she will hug you back. She's waiting for you, but she asked me to make sure that I put this on first, and she pulls out the uh, blindfold.
Isabel smiles. She knows this all too well. And she stands there and allows Miranda to put the blindfold on her.
And the blindfold is put on, and you are blindfolded, and she then opens the door. You can hear the door open. She takes you by the hand and leads you in. You then hear footsteps walking away and the door closing. It's now dark and silent.
Isabel stands there, almost nervously, not entirely sure what to expect. It's been a while since this has happened. She's excited and nervous. She stands there waiting for instruction.
What are you wearing?
Um, she is wearing a dress that can be easily, like a maxi dress with no straps, just something that can be easily taken on and off, and nothing underneath it.
You feel heat near your right shoulder.
Isabel tenses.
What's the matter, my dear?
She jumps just a little bit at the sudden voice. Nothing. Nothing at all.
You feel a soft lip replace the heat near your shoulder.
Isabel shivers.
So let's see, what are we in the mood for tonight, my dear?
Honestly, anything you have to give me.
Very well then. Did you bring a change of clothes?
I'll have some in my car if I need.
You can't see it, but Bianca's grinning. Very well then. I suppose that'll be a good enough answer. And now you feel something cold on your back. It takes you a moment to realize what it is, but then as it starts to glide down your spine, and you can feel her kind of pressing into your skin, the tip of that blade becomes very apparent. And before you realize it, she's just cut the whole dress loose.
Isabel smiles and actually gives a bit of a chuckle. How did I know that that might happen?
Well, every time you tell me you have a change of clothes, that means something gets destroyed. Haven't you
Of,
figured that out yet?
of course.
I sometimes wonder if you keep that change of clothes just so I will cut your clothes off.
Clothes are easily replaced.
You feel her grab a handful of hair.
She winces.
Alright, my dear, this is how this is gonna be tonight. And she's pushing you forward with the handful of hair until you feel yourself hit a St. Andrew's cross.
She braces herself against the cross after she slams into it.
We're gonna have a little fun. Fast and hard.
Isabell moans a little bit and smiles. Just how I like it.
And you know that room 2 is one of the bigger rooms, so there's plenty of room in here for just about anything she wants to do. And she lets go of your hair, and you hear her heels clicking across the floor. Then you hear a long slide of leather off of whatever it's resting on.
Mm-hmm.
And then you hear that loud crack that just kind of echoes in this small room.
The familiar crack of the whips.
And not the small whips, the big ones, the bull whips.
Isabell braces herself against the cross. She turns her auspex on so that she can feel the every bite this whip has to offer. These whips have to offer.
Yes, because she never uses just one. That's kind of her thing. And she seems to be going pretty relaxed and easy today. Well, relaxed and easy for her. It's still quite the event of crack, 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 crack. And she's kind of taken to having her own little symphony, going to whatever song's currently playing in the back of her mind. Maybe it's one that's you can just barely hear through the walls from the rest of the club. Maybe it is just in her mind. Maybe it's something playing softly in this room. Who knows, really? But she will decimate Isabel's back side from the upper thighs all the way up to her shoulders with whip marks, all but cleaving flesh completely from skin. And if you want to roll stamina to see how well you soak, you can.
Sure.
It'll hurt you.
Ah. Two successes.
Well, you still have your flesh on, and you're not going to have to roll or spend any blood to heal, but she is not going easy on you tonight. She is definitely out to cause you
As
pain.
this is happening, Isabell is uh, at first enjoying the gentleness of it, but then it gets harder and more painful, and she is screaming um, as to be expected, but she is also reveling and enjoying because this is exactly what she's been needing, what she's been longing for. And she grips the cross tighter with every lash, feels that she can.
Eventually, Bianca will stop and lay down her whips, come up to you, You hear the door open and other footsteps moving around the room. The door closes, and Bianca's just standing there, running her hands up and down all these marks, knowing that they won't last long. You hear the distinctive click of a camera a couple times when
Isabel
she's
is
not touching you.
Isabel is completely zoned out. She is become enthralled by her own pain and is just she doesn't even really notice when Bianca stops. She's just enjoying the ripple effect of the pain that has been caused to her. And she doesn't even hear the clicking of the camera or anything. She is just lost in herself.
Bianca eventually pries your hands free from the cross and picks your small body up in her arms, just kind of cradling you.
She vaguely registers that she's being moved, but she's still very much zoned out and not to be there present in the moment. She's lost somewhere.
She carries you. You're obviously not aware lights and music become louder and brighter as she's passing through the club towards the VIP section. Miranda opening and closing doors for her. Eventually, she gets you back into the VIP room. Most nights is empty. She takes you in, lays you down on the couch, and takes a seat with your head in her lap and just strokes your hair.
I was moving through the club with all the lights and sounds that would have penetrated her enthrallment, but it still didn't jolt her back to reality as much as it should have. Um, Even with Auspex on, she's still very much lost in her experience and herself. But she is now aware of uh, Bianca stroking her hair and things, but she's still not quite back.
And Bianca will just sit there quietly stroking her hair until she knows she'll eventually come to, so to speak.
It takes a little while, but probably after about 20, 30 minutes, Isabel comes to her senses and she looks up at Bianca. I went out, didn't I?
You were quite conscious the entire time.
I know, but I mean, you know what I mean.
I like to think of it as sending you into subspace.
I suppose, except a much more intense version of it. Thank you. Um, I really, really needed that.
You are very welcome, my dear. Most welcome. How are you feeling?
Good, good. Did you enjoy yourself?
Well, it looks like you definitely enjoyed us. It was nice having you again.
I know I can take a lot more than everyone else. And I like that. You know that I can take more than everyone else and you don't hold back. I can't let regulars do that to me because it would scare them.
I know, my dear.
So, thank you. I'll probably schedule another session.
Of course. Whenever you need.
She lays there for a little bit longer before sitting up.
You see your duffel bag on the floor? The one you usually keep your clothes in?
Mm-hmm. I see you sent Miranda out to the car.
Of course. You don't think I sat here for half an hour and didn't get things done?
No, of course not. Of course not. She doesn't seem too bothered to be putting clothes on right away. She smiles. I managed to talk to Kara.
Is that so?
Yes, I found her at the power plant. Since you said that that's where she was, I figured I would go looking since I didn't have her phone number or anything like that. I had to jump through a couple of hoops, but she actually saw me. I went up there to her office and we had a conversation. And she looks a little
Well,
bewildered when she says that. Like she still can't believe the conversation they had.
I take it wasn't all bad then.
No, she's confusing. She told me that she doesn't even remember why she was mad at me in the first place. And I wasn't about to remind her. But she says that she doesn't blame me for going with you. That she'd have done the same thing.
Really? Now that is something. That's a shock.
I know, I couldn't believe it myself. I'm going to be cautious, of course, because I don't know if it's test or what have you, but apparently what I did with the prince was she didn't think that she had it in me. I asked about uh, if she had embraced someone else, and she said no, but she does have someone in mind. She just needs to get the proper permissions.
I'd say she's probably already done it then. And it's just hiding the fact until she does get permission.
That could be, but I agreed to help her. I figure if I for her and get back on really good terms, then I can. Well, she smiles. I'm not going to forget what Kara did to us.
Good.
She can say now all she likes that I'm all she has and that we need to stick together, but I know better. I know her. That's not how she operates.
I'd assume it's a trick to get you to let your guard down, thinking, oh my dear, I'm back in her good graces. Whatever, I will do everything she asks so that she will still like me.
Well, that's the way I'm going to play it, yes, but I'm not stupid.
Never said you were.
Oh, I know, but I'm just letting you know that I am not naive. I am going to be cautious, but I will play her game.
Excellent.
So for now, things seem to be on the up and up, and at least I don't have to worry about anyone making snide comments anymore about my sire's disdain for me because she seems to no longer harbor it, at least. Anyway, she even gave me her phone number. She wants to. She thinks that I have what it takes to make our clan great again.
In that case, I'd be doubly cautious.
Indeed.
If it came from anybody else, I'd
You
have
know.
taken it as a compliment from her. It sounds like bait for a trap.
Well, I do support Lenora as Primogen, and I will do everything I can to help ensure our alliance with our new prince because, like it or not, he is in charge of us. Now, I am interested in finding out what he wants and why he's here. What does he want with little old New Sarum? Uh, because from what I understand, he's pretty old and he could probably have whatever city he wants, so why would he want us?
I'm assuming it's either a punishment or he has plans for something bigger, and we are a means to an end.
Could be, but I would like to find out. And I will use my friendship with Ramsay to hopefully get myself closer to figuring that out. And who knows? Maybe if I have the ear of the prince, then it wouldn't quite matter who likes me and who doesn't, would it?
No, it wouldn't.
She smiles. Unfortunately, we live in a cutthroat society. I liked it better, honestly, when we were at war. Things were a lot simpler. There weren't these divisions. Wasn't as
Yeah,
much backstabbing and circumventing, but those aren't the times anymore.
sadly.
So I need to live up to my clan of social and political mongrels. Hopefully, I don't lose myself in the process. And she says that with a very grave expression on her face.
I will be sorely upset if you do.
I need I need you, Bianca. I need you to help keep my head straight.
I will do what I can.
If I if you see myself going too far, I need you to knock me back down a peg or two.
Well, don't get pissy with me and take that sword to me then.
She smiles. No, I don't think I can. Our relationship had been the way it was for so long that as soon as I see you, I change. It's like instinct.
Well, it's kind of been the way things are for what, 20 years now?
For the most part, yeah. Over half our lives. She takes Bianca's hand.
She looks up at you.
I can't be without you, Bianca. These last few weeks have been hell. I'm not saying that we should dive headfirst back into our relationship, but even before I spoke with Kara, I was contemplating asking you if you wanted to slowly try again. We just, for a while, because I can't.
She gives you a long, contemplative look. She forces a breath. I will always love you, my dear. And there's very little that I won't do for you. Slow. Like maybe even twice as slow as last time.
She nods.
And even more on the down low, I'm assuming.
Yes. Not a whole lot of extra interaction outside our scheduled sessions. For a while.
At least not publicly. Perhaps phone calls,
Of
text
course.
messages.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I'll expect you to keep me up to date on anything going on with you.
Yes. I will.
I'll need to talk to Miranda because this will affect her as well.
I know. I know. Isabell puts her head on Bianca's shoulder.
She rests her head against the top of your head.
Being like this is not easy.
No, it's not.
But no matter what happens to you at that river, we'll find a way.
I still need to hear back from Daisy on if she can do that thing.
Just let me know when, and of course I'll be there with you.
I appreciate it. Miranda should have the scuba gear all ready and purchased well before we're ready to go, so.
Good.
I think being able to breathe might keep the beast at bay, so I'm thinking I'm gonna die or live. Not entirely sure which way it would go at that moment.
I don't know either. Honestly. Just as used to me still being able to breathe and stuff, so. I guess maybe I got lucky on that. That if in that water, my beast wouldn't panic as much.
Then again, it might have been the fact that I was almost alive, which means the beast would have died.
Yes.
I'll let you know when we go, though.
And gets clothes out of her duffel bag and pulls them on. It's just some yoga pants and a tank top. Let me know what Miranda says.
I will, as soon as I talk to her.
And she, Bianca, nervously looking
Bianca
into her
stands up.
eyes. And she looks into Bianca's eyes when she stands up.
She reaches up and
She
caresses your
sees
cheek.
into your hand. And she seems confused on what she wants to do next. Whether she wants to kiss Bianca or if she just wants to leave.
Let's see, which way does Bianca go? Bianca's hand slides towards the back of your head.
Isabell steps forward.
And they kiss.
Isabell has hesitated first, but then the kiss to deepen and the idea of it wash over her. She relaxes. She feels she's missed this. And after they're finished, Isabell will give Bianca a hug.
Bianca will hug her back.
And then Isabell will leave.
And then you see Miranda standing outside the door, her back up against the wall as you leave. Slight smile on her face. And Bianca watched Isabel leave. She's nervous. She's not sure how to take this change of heart by Kara. She's always been a flighty nitwit, but she's hoping that this isn't another game of Kara's to inflict more pain upon Isabel. So Bianca's going to keep her distance, at least for now. Eventually, she promises herself Kara will no longer be a problem. And with that, the scene can end.